It's getting worse for the banks, and it's also getting worse for your crypto depending on where you hold it. And to be clear, a couple days ago I did a video saying to get your crypto out now, and I'm not saying to go sell your crypto. Wording is very, very important. I'm saying get your crypto out of exchanges. We just got news that Binance had a temporary issue impacting spot trading. So they suspended withdrawals and deposits. We'll talk about that, what this means for crypto. We actually saw Bitcoin drop from 28.1 down to 27.5 just in 2 minutes after this happened. So we'll talk about that. Talk about what's getting worse in the banking system because it looks like another bank is getting ready to collapse. So if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button underneath the video, I appreciate that. I'm making this like right after I wake up in the morning. I saw this happening and I wanted to get it to you as quickly as possible. So if you want content like that, that's not held back for specific uploads, but it's given to you right when it comes out, check out that subscribe button and check out that bell notification underneath the video. There's also a link down there to the Patreon in case you want to buy or in case you want to know when I'm buying and selling cryptos and stocks. You can get that information a lot faster on the Patreon. Now, Bitcoin, crypto in general fell just a few minutes ago, as I said. Now it's starting to recover a little bit. So why is that? Well, Binance said that they are aware of an issue impacting spot trading on Binance. All spot trading is currently temporarily suspended as we work to resolve this as soon as possible. New updates will be shared here. Then CZ said initial analysts indicate matching engine encountered a bug on a trailing stop order, a weird one, recovering estimated 30 to 120 minutes-ish, waiting for a more precise ETA. Deposits and withdrawals are as a SOP, standard operating procedure. Funds are SAFU. Now, some people are guessing that maybe there's a mismatch of funds, and that's why this happened. Personally, I don't care why it happened. I just know that if I have my crypto on an exchange, it's not safe, right? Binance can stop withdrawals, they can stop deposits, they can stop trading in a second. And I'm just at their whim now. If I had crypto on Binance. Now, I don't think this is affecting Binance US, but still, I have to wait a couple hours. What could happen in a couple hours? We could fall down $5,000. We could fall down more than that, right? I might not ever be able to get my crypto again if there's some massive blow up on the exchange and they go insolvent, just like the other crypto exchanges. Now, to be fair, there haven't been a lot of people talking behind the scenes about Binance in a while, talking about insolvency or anything like that. So that's probably a good sign that they're fine. But still, I don't like to see this on exchanges that I might be using. And every exchange can have this happen. So if you have your crypto on Binance or Binance US, just like always, I would suggest getting it off, putting it on cold storage, putting it on a hot wallet, something else where you hold your own keys. And this is not FUD. This is just good self-management. This is just good. This is good for you to get used to this with your cryptos. That's the point of crypto in the first place, is that you can actually hold your own cash. And to anyone that's going to rage in the comments about how I'm just spraying FUD, you can leave the channel. I don't care. This is not FUD. This is just obvious that you should get your crypto off of exchanges if you value your money. Now, with that being said, Bitcoin's moving back up. It's good news, right? Sounds like this is going to be taken care of soon. Maybe Binance even just announced that they're going to allow trading again. These temporary pieces of news can be good for buying crypto. And it can actually help you get in at better spots in the future, right? Whenever there's this kind of cascading liquidation or sell-off, if you can nail this first green candle, you can make some good money. So just pay attention to that. There's always good buying in prices. There's always good swing trades. I don't swing too much myself. I'm looking more for the long term, but don't get fudded out of an investment. Just get fudded out of centralized exchanges. Now, let's move on to what's getting worse in the banking sector. So in my video last night, I talked about how it's getting a lot worse for the Fed. They had to add another $93 billion last week to their balance sheet. A lot of this was coming from Fed bank term funding, which rose to about $54 billion from $12 billion. And this is just that emergency facility that they're making with different banks to increase liquidity, basically. And they have a lot of the treasuries that are going to expire or hit maturity, I should say, in 2023 and 2024. So they're kind of stuck. They have to continue adding assets to the balance sheet to backstop the banks. And they're worried about inflation. That's why they're raising in the first place. But because of inflation, they have to add more assets. They also have a lot of treasuries maturing soon. So it seems like they're going to have to flip. They're going to have to flip and go dovish here soon and stop raising rates. Now, they said that they're going to raise a couple more times, at least 25 basis points, but possibly even another 25 and then another 25. But banks are breaking. We got news of Deutsche Bank. Their credit default swaps, which represent insurance of their bondholders against a potential default, spike as banking doom is back in Europe. Markets price in 31% probability of default for Deutsche Bank sub bonds and 16% for the senior DP paper. You can see just spikes, and we haven't seen a spike like this since back in 2020. Basically, this was when we had COVID, obviously, and people are paying out the butt for insurance. Now, this is exactly what happened just a few days before some of the other banking collapses recently. Like Credit Suisse had the same thing happen, and then a few days later, the Swiss government had an emergency meeting on a Sunday to get them bought out by UBS. Now, Deutsche Bank is one of the banks, it sounds like, that was reaching out to the government to basically say, hey, tell everyone how great our liquidity and capital position is. Please, we need it. So it seems like they're having a lot of issues there, obviously, as well. They're down 10% in the pre-market after being down 6% yesterday. Over the last 6 months, you can see they were all the way up at $13. Now they're back down to $9.65. So they haven't quite fallen like a lot of the other stocks, but a lot of people are saying that they have some issues behind the scenes. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I think Deutsche Bank is probably in trouble. If you have money at Deutsche Bank, I don't know what their regulations or laws are like, what kind of protection you have as someone that has deposits there. But, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire, and I would probably get your money out. Now, we also have the market just pricing in these rate cuts. So we may see this priced into the market at some point. It seems like some of this is already priced into the market, but the government's basically saying that they're going to raise another 25 basis points. So they're saying, okay, at the next meeting, we're expecting around a 4.9% federal funds rate, which is, you know, just a little bit higher than that, or just a little bit higher than now. And then we're expecting cuts. So then we're expecting the fund rate to come back down, and then down again, down again, down again, down again. And they're actually pricing in 1.2% cuts throughout the rest of the year, or until, you know, January 31st, which is crazy. The market is now pricing in 1.2% of cuts when the Fed is saying we're not going to cut at all. It tells you how much the market actually believes Jerome Powell and his ability to continue raising rates and to continue to break this system, whether it's debt or whether it is banks, because they are highly levered. Now, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, it's crazy to see all this breaking at one time. Now, again, I'm not trying to spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I just think we have to be extra careful in times like this. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Check out the Patreon underneath the video. If you want some free stocks, there are links to moomoo, Webull, and M1 Finance. Check out those links.